Yes, we are back. And we are just going to put a link. Copy a link, press Discord. Is I was waiting for that chest to smell.
Lovely.
Ah, split this really? Ah well. Path available for your pet.
Lovely. Lovely.
You like that? This is actually the Guild Wars 2 UI, Samuel, but thank you. But I like it too. I play Guild Wars 2 sometimes. I haven't played it in a couple months, but yeah, I play every now and then. I like Guild Wars 2. It's a great game. I'm a big fan of Guild Wars 2.
Lovely.
Ooh. Wolf Cleaver. Hacking Cleaver of the Wolf. Okay, what's that worth? I have... Really? There's a Warcraft 3 UI? I'm pretty happy with the Guild Wars 2 UI. I have no idea what Warcraft 3 is. It's been so long. Warcraft 3 sounds like it would look kind of antiquated. Unless it's just a Warcraft 3 skin you're talking about? Warcraft 3 UI, huh? Oh yeah, no, it's too antiquated, dude. I couldn't run with this. I mean, it looks okay. The Night Elf one's kind of nice, but it takes a little more of the screen than I like the Guild Wars 2 better. But yeah, it's nice. I like the Night Elf one. The Night Elf one was pretty cool. This one. That one actually looks pretty cool. Yeah. It's a little too big. Yeah, that's my because the way my UI is you know, the Guild Wars 2 is nice because you can show or hide action bars based on if you're in combat or out of combat or, you know, whatever, and you can scale it. You can scale the items, so you can really make it kind of small and minimal, which is the way I like it. I like the UI to be minimalistic. So.
Lovely.
Yeah, see how this action bar is showing because I'm in combat. All my other action bars, these won't show unless I mouse over them, but this one I have set to show while I'm in combat because there's certain like cooldowns I like to monitor, but... I'm just still leveling my pet up a little bit. Still way too low level. He was level 15. He's a lot higher level now. I think he's, what is he? He's level 30 right now, so let's try to get him to 31.
Lovely.
Actually, he's about to hit 31, and I'm about to hit 38, so... That is correct, I do move with QWE, yep.
Lovely.
I've moved with QWE for a long time. Because I don't use back. Like if I want to go back, I just do this, right? If I want to go backwards, I'll just strafe like that, you know. Or just turn the camera and do this. Yeah, so I don't use the back key. I don't need S. And then, yeah.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
There we go. The pet is now level 31. Leveled that pet 16 times since last night. I just wanted to do something different. You know, I had the wolf for a long time, and I wanted to see if I could get a pet that maybe do a little bit more damage. And so we went ahead. I played a raptor a couple months back, and I remember the raptor doing really good damage. So I decided to try the raptor again. The only one I could find that had a skin that I liked was this one. Unfortunately, this one is a deviate stalker, I think is what he's called. And he's level 15 elite mob in Wailing Caverns. And since I was already level 37, I had to go tame him. And then, you know, leveling up a pet when you're 37 and your pet's 15 is a pain in the ass. But I'm up to the task. So we've leveled him up to 31 already. So he just looks really cool. I like this particular skin. For the raptor, actually, the only ability I'm using right now is Claw. That's it. Yeah, the only ability I have him using is Claw. I have Bite, but when I tried him... Here, let's try it. When I tried it with Bite, his DPS actually went down. So right now we're at 29 DPS. Let's go ahead and reset the damage meter. We'll turn Bite on, turn Growl off, so we don't waste focus on Growl. Is there a giant behind me? What? Oh, Kingston, you got me. You freaking got me. I actually looked. You bastard. I actually looked. I was like, what is there a giant behind me? So let's see, his DPS. So actually his DPS is... So his DPS there did pretty good. It did a little bit higher, so let's take a look. He only did one bite though. And it looks like it missed. So it was parried, so that was just an aberration that it was actually higher, but yeah, we'll try Bite for a few more fights here. See if it makes a difference, but I think just using Claw takes less energy. Probably is better, I don't know.
Lovely.
Although he did crit there, I think on his Bite, didn't he? Let's see. No, 43, 43, Claw. Yeah. But Bite takes 35 focus and Claw only takes 25. So it's one of those things. I mean, if Bite crits, what's the damage on Bite again? 31 to 37. If it crits enough, it could be, I mean, it could be good, so... Yeah, I can show you the talents here. And DPS does look like it's up a little bit. Let's go ahead and reset it again, and let's turn off Bite. Let's see. Talents are basically Beast Mastery. I mean, I've got, you know, the first thing I do is I get Deflection 5 out of 5, then I grab, you know, Savage Strike, so we can get the increased crit chance on Raptor Strike, since that's about my only melee attack. And then we just go into Beast Mastery build. We go Endurance Training, Thick Hide. I've got 2 points into Improve Aspect of the Monkey, which is, you know, good, and I'll see. That was just so I can get to this next tier, but I probably will put 3 more points into that at some point. And then, you know, Unleashed Fury 5 out of 5. You got Bestial Swiftness and Ferocity 5 out of 5. So we were 38 DPS. Let's see if we can beat with that.
Lovely.
Because survival's too slow leveling wise. 35. Survival, you're not gonna have enough DPS. The kill times are gonna be much worse if you're survival. And survivability wasn't really a concern when leveling, you know? Now when I get to 60 and join the hardcore elite guild, that'll change. I will go more survival then. Because I think at that point, you know, having traps that are more dependable and having feign death that's more dependable is going to be more useful in a group scenario. Yeah, DPS seems, I mean, basically it's, whether I use bite or not, it does seem to be about the same. I'm going to leave bite on then, because bite, if I crit with bite, should spike up my DPS a little bit. So, because it hits harder.
Lovely.
I don't know, DPS dropped quite a bit there. Eh. Let us check. Some more chests.
Lovely.
What's up, Raccoon? I wish more streamers played Hydrox. I don't know what Hydrox is.
Lovely.
Oh, you mean Hydraxian Waterlords. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Hydraxian Waterlords, yeah. Alright, there we are. We have hit level 38. At this point, I think we should just go ahead and grab our Intimidation. But I mean, we're almost, you know... We need 4 more points to get down into Frenzy. They're old Oryagaki. Turn bite back on. Ooh, big lag spike there. I didn't like that. Like that at all. That speed's fine. Just a momentary. Just a momentary hiccup on the server, I guess. I hope. Knock on wood. Nope, now we're getting another lag spike, aren't we? No? Yeah, my pet just didn't hit him. I'm all paranoid now. After that lag spike, you know. Okay, well, my pet is definitely doing more damage with the bite right now, so we'll leave bite on for now. It looks like seems like maybe it's doing. Hard to say.
Lovely.
Did you guys see the video by Stay Safe? If you guys didn't check it out, Blizzard leaks official hardcore servers. There's someone data mined the WoW client. And there is a hardcore._realm_select. It looks like at least initial signs point to the fact that Blizzard is in some way implementing hardcore realms in retail World of Warcraft, which is, I think, a smart decision on their part because hardcore is a fantastic game mode, very, very popular.
Lovely.
There, pet stun, baby, pet stun. Well, yeah, but we think that they'll put it in retail first, and then they'll put it in. Remember, the retail client's fairly similar to the classic client, so it's not difficult for them to put something in the retail client and then go ahead and backport it into into the classic client. So if they're going to put it in retail, then I think it's pretty much assured that it will also be in classic. It just seems like possibly they're going to do it retail first, which is interesting choice, but because most people that play hardcore do it in classic.
Lovely.
Alright, we're out of here. I gotta go empty my inventory. Well, the one thing that's interesting about hardcore mode is that it could hurt Blizzard, right? Look at it this way. Yeah, think about this. Classic could hurt Blizzard because people will buy the WoW token, right, to sell in the game for gold. Well, no one's gonna. The WoW token would probably be against the rules of hardcore because you can't. Hardcore is not going to allow you to just buy gold. I mean, even if you did buy gold, what's the point? Because you can't use the auction house, you can't trade with other players, you can't use the mailbox. Gold's kind of almost meaningless. I mean, the only thing you can use gold on is like vendor stuff from NPCs, or basically buying, respecting their character, or buying talents and stuff. So gold's kind of worthless to a certain degree. So I would imagine that, you know what I mean? So like buying WoW token, it would pretty much, I think, be against hardcore. There's no, you know what I mean? So in a way, hardcore would hurt Blizzard money-wise. If a lot of people stopped playing retail and started playing retail, the regular mode, and all started playing hardcore, the sales of the WoW token would go down.
Hey there.
Alright, we don't need this, do we? No. This mail. I keep getting all this mail gear. It's like, If I'm leveling a paladin, leather gear drop. This happens every time. If I level a paladin or a character that wears mail, leather gear drops. If I level a rogue or a hunter, character that needs leather, mail drops. It's like every time. It's like a sick joke by the client, you know? It's very annoying. I don't think I need... We should... bolts. We do need bolts of silk cloth. Wool.
Safe travels.
Drop plus 12 healing pants at my... That was the best day. Yeah. Wonder if I shouldn't... We should do the bone collector and the Coda roundup, just so we can get the neck piece. Oh, nice. Nice. Smite for the win. Hey Gabby, it's the Guild Wars 2 UI.
What's up? Have a good one.
Oh, your quest log is full, sir. More like. Missing diplomat. We don't need that.
Yo, keep it real.
Yo. No problemo.
Lovely. Lovely.
Manuel, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the sub. Actually, let me. Yeah, live stream's a little bit slow to update, so let me go to pull out my stream elements, the web here. Hold on a second. Dashboard. Pull my activity feed out. There we go. That way I see those right away. Hey, what's up, David? What's my opinion about the movies Lord of the Ring and The Hobbit? Well, the Lord of the Rings movies are probably some of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, not even. I mean, I own the extended edition on Amazon of all of those films. I've watched Lord of the Rings probably 20 times, probably. The Hobbit is not as good, you know. Although I do think that the main character's acting performance was very good. What's the actor's name? I should know the guy's name. He's also from Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, I mean, The Hobbit's pretty good, but it's nowhere near as good as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, I think they're probably my favorite films of all time. Really, they're really good. So yeah, I probably watched it like 20 times. Yeah, I might have watched it more than that. You watched the video that showed that The Witcher is a mega ripoff of Elric. Well, Elric, you know, I'm a huge fan of Elric. I'm a huge fan of Michael Moorcock. The Elric universe is fantastic. It's really good. You know, The Witcher is a big ripoff of Elric, sure. I mean, obviously. I mean, if you look at The Witcher and how he's basically augmenting himself with all these, like, potions and stuff, that's what Elric did. You know, Elric was a sorcerer, but he was an albino, and he was very, very weak, like really weak. And he used sorcery and potions and stuff to keep him strong, you know, to like augment him. And that's what The Witcher does. But The Witcher really isn't weak without his potions. Whereas Elric is, although Elric can cast spells, but the spells take a lot out of him too.
What's up? Keep it real.
But yeah, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, yeah, I don't think. To me, The Witcher, well, I think the Elric books are probably older than that. Like, you know, like... Let's see when this was written. Published in 1977, right? So the Elric books were published in the 70s. I don't know. Well, what are the book names of The Witcher? The Last Wish? So yeah, so all these books here are published way later. So yeah, so you know, Elric is much older than The Witcher. The 70s. I actually own some of the earlier editions of the Elric novels on my bookshelf here behind me. Yeah, Elric's way older, so. But Elric's better. I mean, The Witcher's cool. I haven't read the Butcher books, so I guess I shouldn't say Elric's better. I'm just going to say my knowledge of the Elric. I enjoy Elric better, like the stories. Like if they made Elric, if they made like the Elric books into like a TV series, and if they did it justice, it would be absolutely phenomenal. But you got the Elric. I mean, you're talking some crazy stuff, right? Like you have like, let's see, Elric. Let's see, Elric. There's the Chaos Lords. You got some crazy stuff. Like, there's Ariok, Balon. These are some of the gods, right? Pyre. But some of these are weird. What's the god of the ocean? It's not Pyre. It's... Oh, where is he? Strasha. Strasha's one of my favorites. Like Strasha is like the god of the sea. And actually, here's an excerpt from the Elric comic book. I actually own this comic book, but he summons Strasha, and Strasha comes out of the water, and like, I have an image. Yeah. I don't have this particular release of it, but oh, this is a different book actually. No, I do have this book. But anyways, I like Strasha. But yeah, the gods but the stuff that goes on in Elric they're pretty creepy. But oh yeah, but they're pretty like there's a bunch like okay, so the world, the Elric world, right? The world of Michael Moorcock, the Michael Moorcock universe is basically a multiverse, okay? So here. So it's basically like this. You have different planes, right? Planes of existence, right? These are planes, whatever. So let's say that this is Elric's plane of existence. There's certain powerful magical sorcerers that exist within Elric's plane that have the ability to open up doorways to other planes. Other planes aren't all the same. They're not like duplicate. They're not like alternate universes. They're different actual realms or planes that are completely different. So imagine being like on this plane and there's like certain cities and stuff, but then you go to this plane and it's like going to a different planet almost, right? So the sorcerers open up different portals to different planes for different reasons. Sometimes they're looking for more powerful magical items. Sometimes they're summoning demons or creatures from other planes to come into their plane, and they bind them to do their bidding, right? So, but the world of the Elric universe is very detailed. There's a lot of really interesting stuff about it. If you look at the map of the Young Kingdoms, which is the world of that Elric lives in, it's a really cool map. And there's actually a role-playing game. You know, you have Dungeons and Dragons, right? There's actually a role-playing game like Dungeons and Dragons called Stormbringer, which is I actually own it. They don't make it anymore. It's actually worth a lot of money. It's a really cool role-playing game. So let's see. Let's go images. All right. So if you go here, this is the map of the Young Kingdoms, which is where Elric lives. Now, Elric lives here on Melnibone. Right? So Melnibone is this little island here, which is known as the most powerful. They're like the most powerful race in the Young Kingdoms, right? But all these other races are really, really cool. You've got the Weeping Waste. I mean, there's so many of them. There's so many different. So, like, if you think about like World of Warcraft, you really don't have that many different various races. You know, you've got trolls and orcs. In the Young Kingdoms, they're mostly humanoids, but they're very different. Like the Filkare are different than the Picarar. The Oins are different. The Oin and the U are similar, but different. The Weeping Waste people are different. You know, there's people. You know, there's all these different continents, and so there's a lot of variety in the people. It's a lot more similar to like Conan type world, you know. But yeah, it's super cool. But I wonder if we can find. No, demons. Sorry, demons in. It's not really a metaverse. Like, is it a meta? It's not really a metaverse. It's a multiverse, which is different. I don't know if they have. I used to own these books. I don't think I have them anymore. Whatever. Anyways, but yeah. So the big similarities are right. The big similarities between The Witcher and Elric is that The Witcher is very pale and has white hair. Everything about Elric is always that he's a albino. So he's, of course, pale. He's albino. And, of course, he has white hair, right? So if you... And he tends to wear very interesting armor. So if you look at images of Elric, this is typically what he looks like, right? You're always going to see these albino images of him looking like this, right? These are all very similar to what... And this sword is the sword Stormbringer, which is a living entity that actually, when he kills people, this sword drinks their soul and uses the power of their soul to imbue power into Elric to make Elric stronger. So the sword is 100% pure evil. And parts of Elric is what's called Elric's called an anti-hero. Or what is it? It's not an anti-hero. But he's like not all good. He does a lot of things that are bad, but you root for him because deep down inside he wants to be good, but he's forced to do things that are bad. So he's basically like an anti-hero. So he fights his sword. He doesn't want to kill people and drink their souls, but in certain situations he has to because the situation calls for it. So this is Elric, and then so let's look at pictures of the Witcher, right? Now, do you guys see any similarities here? Right? Now he's got different kind of armor, but the reason a lot of people say, you know, so here you've got the Witcher, and here you've got Elric, right? So there's some similarities, right? And it's not villain. It's I can't think of what it's called. It's not. There's a name for it. I can't think of what it's called. Yeah, he's very complex anti-hero. That's what I'm thinking. He's an anti-hero. But he's considered, well, I guess and that's not what there's another word for it though. Anyways, whatever. But he's like an anti-hero. Yeah, that's it. He's pretty much an anti-hero. So he's the hero, but he does bad things. He doesn't really want to do bad things, but he's forced to do bad things. But there's certain situations where he does do bad things because he wants to do bad things. You know what I mean? He's a very complex character. But the one thing that's really similar between The Witcher and Elric is that Elric, like I said, creates potions that he drinks to make him stronger and give him strength. Because he's albino and he's really weak. Whereas The Witcher also drinks potions that make him strong, but The Witcher without his potions is still a strong, tough dude. Whereas Elric really isn't. I mean, Elric is a master bladesmith. He's a master blade. He's one of the best swordsmen in the entire world, right? So even without potions, he still can fight pretty good with the sword. But once he takes his potions, he's really strong. He's pretty much almost unstoppable, right? You know? Because he's a total badass, right? I mean, Elric's a badass. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Michael Moorcock universe. So. All right, so what do we got? But yeah, if you guys haven't read the Elric books, I highly recommend them. And eventually, we will see Elric made into a movie or a show. I mean, they've tried to do it, but we'll see it eventually. Now, how well they pull it off, who knows? But Elric will eventually be made into some sort of a movie or a show. The other, obviously, Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan novels, I'm a big fan of his, and they've tried to make those into shows, but they've never been able to pull it off because it's another complicated story. And they pretty much have not done it justice. We had the Wheel of Time show, and it was absolutely horrible. I mean, it was terrible. And it wasn't like there were parts of it that were good. I mean, they had some decent acting, like decent, not great. And there were certain parts of it that were good, but where they really failed was they tried to put too much. They tried to rush through an entire book in one season, and which I understand why they did that because there's like 14 books in the series, and they're massive books. Like they average like 800 pages long, so I can understand why they're rushing through it. But just rushing through it doesn't do it justice. I'd rather see them make a TV series on the first 3 books and just spend 5 or 10 seasons just going through the first 3 books. Then try to do a book a season. It just doesn't. You're taking out so much content that people who've never read the books, it's just going to be crappy to them. You know what I mean? They're not going to understand very well what's going on. Can I tame these? I can't tame this guy, can I? No. Let's see how. Oh boy. I don't know how well I'll do against a level 37 Kodo with my weak pet. Yeah, we're doing all right. No, not me. I don't have a problem with them bringing that stuff to the screen as long as they do a good job. I mean, Lord of the Rings, like I said, they're probably my favorite movies of all time. And Peter Jackson obviously knocked it out of the park. They're phenomenal.
Lovely.
They're absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, the Rings of Power has got some really bad shit in it. Like, first of all, like Galadriel never was. She never was this massive badass warrior like they try to make her out to be. At least as far as I know, she never was in the books. The other thing that was really like absolutely ridiculously stupid is there's that one episode where there's this huge wave of fire that washes over an entire village, and it doesn't even hardly kill anybody. I mean, like the whole village is ash, it's burned to the ground, buildings are burned to the ground, yet somehow these people survive. There's no way these people would be dead. I mean, there's that one, I don't remember which episode that is, but the people would be dead. It was absolutely ridiculous. So there's just stuff that's so unbelievably ridiculous. You have an active summon. Oh shit! I'm hitting the wrong keybind. Yeah, the Rings of Crab, Joe. You know, have you seen the Rings? It's terrible. It was bad, man. Yeah, the Rings of Crab is bad. We were just talking about Elric and Stormbringer and how The Witcher. I don't want to say The Witcher is a ripoff of Elric, but there definitely was a heavy influence of Elric novels on the person who wrote the Witcher books. But I would never really criticize people too much for that, because some of my favorite books are The Sword of Shannara, and The Sword of Shannara is almost a direct ripoff of The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the Sauron Galadriel was, yeah, the romance is so dumb. Yeah, it was so bad. I watched. Well, the wardrobes was really good. The wardrobes are excellent. The scenes, the sets, and the wardrobes on that show are fantastic. But man, it was just bad. Oh yeah, the Razor Suicidio and the plagiarism. Yeah, I'll check it out. Let's see. Ah, I can't swim. Well, yeah, the dwarf, that was dumb. I mean, come on, dwarven women. Black dwarven women, it was just kind of, yeah, whatever. Don't get me going on that stuff. I didn't want to talk about that. Yeah, the sets and the wardrobes were good, but the story was terrible. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, their wardrobes were kind of weird. Yeah, but I just meant like the wardrobe wasn't like that great. The wardrobe was okay, but what I liked was the sets. The sets were really good. The sets were good on the show. Of course, it's woke. All the shows are woke, right? All the shows are woke. Well, did you see the Wheel of Time, Joe? That was some woke bullshit. I mean, the Wheel of Time was the worst wokeness of all, because you have three main characters who grew up in the same village. They grew up, were born in the same village, and yet one's like a white dude, one's like a black dude, and one's like a Indian, or the one woman like is like an Indian. I'm like, what? Like, they're all in the same village. How are they freaking all like different nationalities? You know, it's like, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, the Wheel of Time was. We knew that was gonna be bad. I 100% knew Wheel of Time was gonna be garbage, right? Once I saw the absolute absurdity of the wokeness, I was like, come on. Learned resurrection. Well, wasted money. Wasted money.
Talk to me. Glad I could help.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I never understood that one either. They had black people with white hair. It just was like, what? I mean, of course it's fantasy, so of course it could, of course, I mean, it's not planet Earth, so of course they could have white hair and have dark skin, but it still was kind of an odd choice. But yeah, the Wheel of Time, though, come on. Now, of course, Rand wasn't from the same village, right? So he can slide, but to have Matt and, you know, to have Matt and what's the blacksmith's name? I can't remember his name. How can I not remember the name of the blacksmith? You know, I only liked the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. After that, I thought it kind of went downhill. Season 3 was okay, but definitely by season 4, I thought it was kind of getting crappy. I couldn't stand
Lovely.
the one character, right? What's his? I couldn't stand the character who ended up being like the king or whatever. He was such a weenie. And Pedro, yeah, well, Pedro's arrogance got the best of him, and he got his face smashed in because he was too arrogant. He learned a lesson, man. When you got a man down, you better finish him. Stannis was cool. Yeah, Stannis was a good character. $38.
Lovely.
Good.
Lovely. Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
See that. No, but who was the main character? The dark-haired, curly, dark-haired douchebag. He was terrible. I thought he was awful. I don't even remember the names of the characters anymore. Like this guy, Jon Snow. I thought Jon Snow. Yeah, see, I thought Jon Snow was the biggest weenie. I couldn't stand Jon Snow. He was just a little crybaby. I didn't like Jon Snow at all. I hated his character. Yeah, I did really dislike his character. But yeah, like I said, I only got through about the first 3 seasons, and then I kind of just didn't really pay much attention after that too much. I thought Jon was terrible. I did not like Jon Snow. He was always crying, whining and crying, and yeah, right. You come on. I know you didn't. Jon Snow. He was bad. You know, we all liked. You know, I mean, in the end, Jaime Lannister was way more interesting than Jon Snow. You know, Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. He had a more interesting storyline than freaking Jon Snow, I thought.
Yo, hurry back. Time is money, friend.
Yeah? Oh, of course. Things I can't even use. Thanks for nothing, pal.
Real.
For nothing, pal. Tyrion, yeah, Tyrion was awesome. Hold on a second. I can hear my wife talking. It sounds like she's gonna go somewhere, which is probably good because she's been moping around. I'll be right back, guys. 40K show? You mean like Warhammer 40,000? Is he talking about Warhammer 40,000? Well, it's got to be Warhammer because Henry Cavill's big into Warhammer. He does all the miniatures and stuff. Henry Cavill's a big gamer. Yeah, Warhammer. Yeah. I'll be right back. Here you go, Joe. This song's for you, Joe. Here we go, Joe. This is for Joe. Yeah, Cavill. I like Cavill. I'll be right back. All right, so the hunter is right here. What's up, Laco? Yeah, my wife wants to go and get something to eat, so it looks like I'm probably gonna head out here in a few minutes. Get out into the real world. Another 1500 what? Another 1500 rounds. Damn, Joe. You're ready for World War whatever.
Lovely.
My wife thinks you're smart, Joe, for stocking up on ammunition. That's because she's more of a prepper too. I mean, wants to be prepared for anything. You bought rounds in case of a crash. But yeah, I do have to. American preppers, yeah, hell man. Well, if anything, COVID showed us. It showed us that the whole government will fall apart. Like if like COVID was really bad and people like really started dying, the whole economy would just fall apart. I mean, it would just be really bad. You know what I mean? It would be bad.
Lovely.
Oh, sure. I put a trap down and nothing comes out. Alright, looks like my wife's wanting to go.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. Joe, my wife, wanted me to tell you that she says hi. I also told her that you got 1,500 more rounds of ammunition. You know what she said? She goes, smart. She goes, smart man. All right, I'm going to log out here. We'll come back and continue finishing off this quest when I get back. But yeah, I'm going to go out and eat some... We're going to go out and get some lunch. Oh, yeah, I need... We want to go up. Well, we're moving up to Tennessee as soon as we can. I'll tell her you said that, Joe. We're gonna move up to Tennessee eventually, and we got the cabins up there in Tennessee, and we'll have plenty of guns, and I'll build a bunker. You know. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. It took me. So I got this pet, this raptor here, which he's a really cool looking raptor. He's pretty badass. This skin is the only one I could find. Or there's only 2 of them that have this skin, and this one's a level 15 raptor from Wailing Caverns. So I got him at level 15, and I was level 37. So I spent the last, 7 hours basically trying to level, maybe 5 hours, I guess, trying to level this guy up. So now I think he's like level 31, but he was 15 when I got him. And to level a low-level pet on a hunter is kind of a pain in the butt because you have to kill mobs that give you experience, which means your pet is with you while you're killing like at least level 30, 31 mobs or higher. And he's like 15, so, he isn't doing damage. It means I'm sitting there like soloing, I'm soloing mobs that are like 31 or higher as a melee hunter, which is pretty funny. So, but he's level 31 now, so he's catching up. All right, I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'll come back later and keep playing later this afternoon. I'm stuck with the swoop bird. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.